Tension has continued to grow between Gary and DC Kit Green ever since the investigation into Theo Silverton's death began, with Kit firmly believing Gary could be involved. During tonight's episode, Kit questioned Gary about Todd Grimshaw's missing phone after it was discovered in a pawn shop carrying Brody Michaelis' fingerprints. After Brody explained that he had picked the phone up from a skip outside the builder's yard, Kit once again focused his suspicions on Gary. However, Gary managed to give answers that appeared believable enough. Even so, Kit refused to let the matter drop. When Sarah overheard him discussing his theories with DS Lisa Connor Swain on the phone, she quickly arranged a private meeting with Gary. Their secret conversation hinted that both of them are hiding something, though it remains unclear whether it has any connection to Theo's death. Before they could reveal too much, Maria Connor unexpectedly returned home, forcing Sarah to stay out of sight while Gary hurried to distract Maria and get her out of the flat. Gary later convinced Maria to join him for dinner at the Rovers, but while there, Todd arrived with shocking news that Summer Spellman, who is currently awaiting trial for Theo's murder, had been rushed to hospital. As Todd angrily accused Summer of switching off her insulin pump in an attempt to avoid prison, Gary suddenly stepped outside to catch his breath. Sarah soon followed him, and it became obvious that whatever secret they are carrying is beginning to overwhelm him. Gary admitted that he can't keep doing this and confessed he doesn't know how much longer he can cope. But what exactly is he struggling with? His reaction suggested he felt responsible for what Summer is suffering through, raising fresh questions about whether he could somehow be linked to Theo's murder. Could Gary and Sarah actually be protecting one another? Or could an entirely different secret be waiting to come out? And is Gary finally close to revealing the truth behind everything they've been hiding? Fizz is left completely stunned after Tyrone's devastating secret threatens to destroy everything in upcoming Coronation Street scenes. Theo may not have been well liked, but his death is continuing to impact the entire street in dramatic ways. At the center of the investigation are 6 Weatherfield residents, each with their own motive for wanting Theo gone. First is Todd Grimshaw, who spent months suffering from Theo's manipulation, cruelty, and abuse. Then there's Theo's former wife, Danielle Silverton, Todd's loyal supporter, George Shuttleworth, George's partner, Christina Boyd, troubled builder Gary Windass, and Summer Spellman, whose adoptive father, Billy Mayhew, was killed by Theo. But the fallout from Theo's murder hasn't stopped with the main suspects. Because the killing happened on the same night as Swarla's wedding, several other residents have become tangled in the mystery. Ryan Connor recently admitted he spotted Danielle on the street shortly before Theo died, while troubled teenager Brody Michaelis ended up arrested after stealing Todd's missing phone. Now Tyrone Dobbs has unexpectedly become involved after Summer was brought in for questioning and asked to explain where she was on the night Theo died. Feeling cornered, Summer claimed that Theo was still alive when she left his flat and suddenly remembered that Tyrone could confirm her version of events. Unfortunately for Summer, things quickly turned against her. When DS Lisa Connor Swain arrived at the Dobbs house to check the story, Tyrone nervously insisted Summer must have mistaken him for somebody else. Although the detective seemed satisfied, Fizz immediately realized her husband wasn't telling the full truth and demanded answers. Tyrone continued to deny everything, insisting he would never lie about something so serious. Later in the episode, a dramatic flashback exposed the truth. Tyrone had actually seen Summer leaving Theo's flat while Theo was still alive. His decision to hide that information instantly raised suspicions about what he might be protecting. As it turns out, Tyrone had problems of his own that night, and once again, Carl Webster was involved. Tyrone has never forgiven Carl for the hit-and-run incident that left him temporarily using a wheelchair, so there's no shortage of bad blood between them. That raises an important question. If Tyrone had the chance to get revenge, would he take it? On the same evening Theo was murdered, A drunk Carl secretly entered Kevin Webster's garage and began tampering with one of the cars after becoming furious over missing money connected to Debbie Webster. While Carl was working underneath the vehicle, someone approached the garage unexpectedly. Moments later, the car came crashing down and severely injured him. Could Tyrone have been responsible? And did he allow Summer to take the blame in order to keep his own secret buried? Future Coronation Street episodes will finally reveal the truth as Tyrone's guilt becomes too much to handle and he makes a shocking confession to Fizz. His week begins badly when Carl reveals he has started remembering flashes from the night he was hurt and knows the incident happened inside the garage. The revelation leaves Tyrone deeply rattled. Combined with the guilt of knowing Summer is suffering while he could clear her name, Tyrone eventually opens up to Fizz. In the newly released spoiler scenes, Tyrone admits he saw Summer on the night Theo died, proving she couldn't have killed him. However, he deliberately lied to the police because telling the truth would expose his own actions from that night and potentially land him under arrest. A horrified Fizz demands to know what crime he believes he committed, and Tyrone shockingly admits it could be attempted murder. Tyrone finally explains everything to his wife. He reveals that he caught Carl sabotaging Kevin's car brakes and secretly filmed him as evidence. But during the confrontation, he accidentally knocked the jack out from beneath the vehicle, causing the car to collapse onto Carl. Stunned by the confession, Fizz demands that Tyrone hand over his phone. But will she expose the truth to the police or stand by her husband and help protect his secret? Coronation Street has revealed a major behind-the-scenes change while developing Sam Blakeman's emotional new storyline. Upcoming episodes will feature heartbreaking scenes as Sam, struggling with psychosis, barricades himself inside the cafe with Roy Cropper. Outside, Nick Tilsley, Leanne Battersby, and Toya Battersby desperately try to reach him before the situation spirals out of control. Although details about the outcome remain secret, Ben Price opened up about a significant shift in how the show approached the storyline behind the scenes. According to him, the production team encouraged young star Jude Riordan to take more creative control over both Sam's development and his own performance. Price explained that growing up on a long-running soap can be challenging for child actors, especially during the transition into more mature storylines as they get older and begin carrying bigger emotional material. He revealed that he and Jude spent a lot of time discussing scenes together and figuring out exactly what each moment needed emotionally. Recalling one particularly intense early scene, Price said he encouraged Jude to fully commit to the performance because the storyline now belonged to Sam's character. He admitted that when Jude was younger, he would usually guide scenes more heavily himself, but this time he felt it was important for Jude to lead the emotional direction. Price described the experience as both rewarding and demanding for the young actor. He admitted there was a difficult hurdle to overcome in the opening scenes, but said Jude quickly found his confidence and delivered powerful performances. He also praised Jude's acting ability, saying it has been incredible watching him discover his strength as a performer while handling such an adult and emotionally complex storyline. Price continued by describing Jude as not only highly talented, but also hardworking, grounded, and extremely professional on set. He joked that the young star has a little bit of Platt energy in him, adding that working alongside such a strong actor has improved his own performances too. He further teased that viewers should prepare for several deeply emotional episodes ahead, promising that the scenes are upsetting but handled with great care and respect for the subject matter. Last month, Jude Riordan also shared that he had temporarily been using crutches after suffering a fractured ankle. Coronation Street continues airing on weekday evenings on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.